Hi, Jules Wyman here, founder of The Confidence Garden, and here's another story from The Confidence Garden. The tail end of last year, I was fascinated to find out that a coaching colleague of mine had done some research with some global leaders. Now, these global leaders worked in a international bank, and they were all the top executives within this bank. The lowest that was there was the vice president. Now, he was asking them the questions about what value, what did they really need in their life where coaching was concerned? What would be the thing that's going to make the biggest difference for them? Now, we have this illusion that because somebody is in a leadership position or because they're an executive or a CEO, that actually they've got everything sorted, that they don't have any quibbles and especially don't have any challenges around confidence. And yet, the number one thing that came out, 94 of them said that the one thing that they really want is self-belief. It's interesting because it's such a key factor, and it's the key factor that molds and guides your life. And it took me a long time to understand it, and I'm still fascinated and still look for ways to learn even more about that for myself. In about 2003, I went to a place called Findhorn, which is a spiritual community up in Scotland. I spent the week up there and I had a wonderful time. You know, east coast of Scotland in February, you'd think, oh, freezing cold, but we had freak weather and it was beautiful. It was a sunny spring day like this. Now, what surprised me were the people that were there. I'd never been around such warm people before, such open people before, that were really happy to discuss things and chat things through with you. So it wasn't surprising then when I was waiting for my lunch one day, and you know when you do that thing where you keep looking, waiting for people to come out. I was waiting for the food to come out one day, gripping onto my tray, when I happened to notice this little guy stood behind me, dressed sort of like in African sort of tribal robes. Not unusual, they have an international community. I didn't know him, so I just kind of did the polite English smile and then carried on waiting, looking desperately longing for this food. But I looked back and he was still staring at me. And then he said, "Hi Jules, it's nice to meet you," and stuck out his hand. Now, I didn't have a name badge on, I'd not met him before, I'd definitely not been introduced to him. So I was a bit shocked, and as some of these people are quite spiritual, I thought, oh my gosh, is he someone who's, you know, one of these people who can read my mind, and if he could, can he read what I'm thinking right now? And I got really panicky, and he must have read that in my face and started chuckling, and he said, "It's okay, my wife is a facilitator on your course. She described you to me, and she told me that you'd been to Peru. I've been to Peru, so I thought we might have some connections." Whew. Can go back to thinking whatever I like now. As it turned out, we'd been to lots of similar places in Peru and we loved it. We'd had a great time discussing that. He then spotted that the food came out, and I think my rumbling tummy gave away how hungry I was. Then he stuck out his hand to say goodbye. And when he did, he gripped onto my hand and he asked me a question that I'd never been asked before and I've never been asked since, but it's a question that changed my life. He asked me, "How much do you believe in yourself?" I don't know, kind of as much as everybody does, really. He wouldn't let go of my hand, and he kept looking at me and said, "No, seriously, how much do you believe in yourself?" And I said, I don't know. And still holding onto my hand and still looking me straight in the eye, he said, "Believe in yourself. Your life depends on it. Believe in yourself. Your life depends on it." I didn't understand it fully when he first said it to me. It was definitely one of the first seeds that got planted in my confidence garden. Believe in yourself. Your life depends on it. Every time I hear it, I get something new from it. And it's so true. How much you believe in yourself and what you believe about yourself is going to mold your life. And it doesn't matter whether you are a CEO, a chief executive, or whether you're a housewife. It doesn't matter who you are or what you do. Your life is going to be molded by how much you believe in yourself. So question some of those, maybe some of the doubts that you have, and ask, how much can you believe in yourself today? This is Jules Wyman from the Confidence Garden.